What if the moon simply disappeared? Right now, at this very second. No explosion, no warning, no trace left behind. What would happen to you? To the oceans? To the animals? To Earth's climate? Would humanity survive? It may seem like nothing more than a giant rock lighting up our nights. But the truth is, the moon controls far more than most people realize. Without it, the tides would change. Earth's axis could become unstable. The planet's climate would be completely different. And some scientists believe that without the moon, intelligent life might never have emerged. But that's only the beginning, because the moon holds even more astonishing secrets. It was born from an apocalyptic collision. It is drifting away from Earth right now. It has a side we never see. And as strange as it may sound, it also orbits the sun. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite. But what does that actually mean? A natural satellite is any celestial body that naturally orbits a planet. It doesn't matter whether it's enormous or tiny. What matters is what it orbits. For example, the moon orbits Earth. Phobos orbits Mars. Ganymede orbits Jupiter. They're all moons. Many people believe that size is what defines a moon, but that's not true. Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, is larger than Mercury. Yet it's still considered a moon because it orbits Jupiter. How was the moon formed? Go back about 4.5 billion years. Earth was still taking shape. The solar system was an incredibly violent place. Planets collided constantly. Then one of the greatest collisions in history occurred. A planet called Theia, roughly the size of Mars, slammed into Earth. The impact was so powerful that part of Earth and part of Theia were blasted into space. For thousands of years, trillions of tons of molten rock orbited our planet. Those fragments gradually began to come together. Little by little, they formed a new world. That world became the moon. That's why scientists believe the moon contains material from both Earth and Theia. In a very real sense, the moon is literally a piece of Earth. If the moon came from Earth, why isn't there life there? Because having the raw materials isn't enough. Life as we know it requires very specific conditions. The moon has no significant atmosphere, no oceans, no rivers, no suitable atmospheric pressure, no strong global magnetic field. Without an atmosphere to protect its surface, it is directly exposed to solar radiation and cosmic rays. Temperatures are extreme. During the lunar day, over 120 degrees Celsius. During the lunar night, below minus 170 degrees Celsius. These conditions make the lunar surface extremely hostile. When people hear that the moon can exceed 120 degrees Celsius during the day, they often ask the same question: is the moon closer to the sun than Earth? The answer is no. The average distance between Earth and the sun is about 150 million kilometers. The moon, meanwhile, is only about 384,000 kilometers away from Earth. Compared to the enormous distance to the sun, the moon is practically right next to our planet. The difference is less than 1%. So why does it get so hot? The answer lies in the atmosphere, or rather, the lack of one. Earth has an atmosphere that acts like a giant thermal blanket. It absorbs heat, it distributes heat, and it prevents drastic temperature swings. The moon has no such blanket. When sunlight strikes the lunar surface directly, that energy is absorbed with virtually no protection. That's why some areas easily exceed 120 degrees Celsius, hot enough to boil water quickly. The very same reason it becomes so incredibly hot is also why it becomes so incredibly cold. Without an atmosphere to retain heat, all the energy accumulated during the day quickly escapes into space. It's like turning off a heater on a freezing night. The warmth disappears. In regions plunged into darkness, temperatures can drop below minus 170 degrees Celsius. Colder than any naturally inhabited place on Earth, the moon is a world of extremes. Scorching heat during the day, deadly cold at night. But how can there be night on the moon? That's a very common question. Many people believe the moon is always illuminated, but that's not true. The moon receives sunlight just like Earth does. It doesn't produce its own light. It simply reflects the sun's light. Just as Earth has day and night, so does the moon. When a region of the moon faces the sun, it experiences lunar daytime. When that same region rotates to the opposite side, it enters lunar night. The difference is that days and nights on the moon are incredibly long, much longer than ours. Is there water on the moon? Surprisingly, yes. For a long time, scientists believed the moon was completely dry, but space probes discovered deposits of ice. They are found mainly near the lunar poles. Some craters remain in permanent shadow. Sunlight never reaches their interiors. In those locations, the ice may have remained preserved for billions of years. Does the moon rotate or not? This is one of the biggest misconceptions in astronomy. Many people believe the moon doesn't rotate, but that's false. The moon rotates on its own axis. It takes about 27.3 days to complete one rotation. Interestingly, it also takes about 27.3 days to complete one orbit around Earth. Both motions happen in perfect synchronization. This is called tidal locking. A complete day and night cycle on the moon lasts about 29.5 Earth days. That means a single region of the moon spends approximately 14 consecutive days receiving sunlight, and then approximately 14 consecutive days plunged into darkness. Imagine 2 full weeks under intense heat, followed by 2 full weeks of freezing cold. That's the reality of the lunar surface. Why do we always see the same side? Imagine 2 people dancing. One stands still in the center, the other walks in circles around them. But while walking, they rotate at exactly the right speed to keep their face pointed toward the person in the center the entire time. That's exactly what the moon does. That's why we always see nearly the same face. But there's one detail. The moon makes small rocking motions called librations. Thanks to these motions, we can actually observe about 59% of the moon's surface over time, not just 50%. Is there a dark side of the moon? Actually, no. The correct term is the far side of the moon. The far side is simply the part of the moon that never faces Earth, but it receives sunlight just like every other part of the moon. It has day and night like any other lunar region. For example, when we see a new moon, the far side may be fully illuminated by the sun. What is the far side like? It is very different from the side we see. It has far more craters. It has fewer volcanic plains. Its crust is thicker. For thousands of years, no one knew what it looked like. The first image was captured only in 1959 by the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3. It was the first time humanity had ever seen a world that had never been directly observed before. This was carefully planned. When the astronauts went to the moon, was it hot or cold? The answer is surprising. The Apollo astronauts landed during the beginning of the lunar day. If they had landed closer to lunar noon, they would have faced extremely high temperatures. If they had landed near lunar nightfall, they would have risked becoming trapped in temperatures below minus 170 degrees Celsius. The engineers chose the ideal moment, with good lighting and less extreme temperatures. Even so, the surface could still reach very high temperatures. Fortunately, their spacesuits functioned like small personal spacecraft. They had thermal insulation, cooling systems, water circulation, and temperature control. Without those technologies, surviving on the moon would have been virtually impossible. And there's another incredible fact. When Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked across the lunar surface, the sky above them was completely black, even in broad daylight. Because the moon has no atmosphere, sunlight doesn't scatter across the sky the way it does on Earth. The result is a breathtaking landscape, a sunlit surface, Earth glowing in space, and a sky as dark as midnight. It may sound like science fiction, but there are real plans to build permanent bases on the moon. The leading project is the Artemis program, led by NASA and supported by several countries. The goal isn't just to visit the moon, it's to stay there. The moon could become humanity's first stepping stone to exploring the rest of the solar system. It's relatively close to Earth. A trip takes only a few days. A mission to Mars, by comparison, could take many months. A lunar base would allow us to test survival technologies beyond Earth, learn how to produce resources locally, and prepare for future missions to even more distant destinations. Could the moon become a space fuel station? Yes, and it's one of the most revolutionary ideas. Scientists have discovered ice near the lunar poles. That water could be turned into oxygen for breathing, drinking water, and rocket fuel. If this becomes reality, future spacecraft could refuel on the moon before continuing on to Mars or other regions of the solar system. What would lunar bases look like? They would probably be very different from cities on Earth. Astronauts would need protection from radiation, micrometeorites, and extreme temperatures. That's why many proposed designs place bases beneath the surface, inside ancient lava tubes, or shielded beneath layers of lunar soil. If a permanent base is ever built, humanity will achieve something unprecedented in its history. For the first time, human beings will live continuously on another world. Just as the Great Age of Exploration transformed Earth's history, the colonization of the moon could mark the beginning of humanity's expansion across the solar system. Like Earth, the moon has layers: a crust, a mantle, and a core. The moon's core is composed primarily of iron, but it is relatively small compared to Earth's core. Did the moon ever have volcanoes? Yes. Billions of years ago, the moon was geologically active. Massive amounts of lava covered enormous regions. The dark patches visible from Earth are called lunar maria. Despite the name, they contain no water. They are vast plains of solidified lava. Right now, the moon is slowly drifting away from Earth. The rate is about 3.8 centimeters per year. It may seem insignificant, but over millions of years, the effect adds up. In 100 million years, that amounts to thousands of kilometers. Why is the moon moving away? The answer lies in the oceans. The moon's gravity creates the tides. But there's an important detail. Earth rotates much faster than the moon orbits it. Because of this, the oceans are pulled slightly ahead. This creates a kind of bulge of water. That extra mass exerts a small gravitational pull on the moon. This force pulls the moon forward. As a result, the moon gains orbital energy. Imagine pushing someone on a swing. Each push increases their energy. Something similar happens to the moon. That energy comes from Earth's rotation. The moon receives that energy and gradually moves into a more distant orbit. Interestingly, as it moves into a larger orbit, it actually travels more slowly around Earth. Earth loses energy, the moon gains energy, and the distance between them continues to increase. Earth is slowing down. Earth's rotation is gradually slowing. The days are getting longer, very slowly. Billions of years ago, a day on Earth lasted only about 5 or 6 hours. If the moon disappeared right now, you probably wouldn't notice immediately. Cars would keep driving, airplanes would keep flying, cities would keep functioning. But over the following hours, days, and years, enormous changes would begin to unfold. The consequences would be immense. The first would affect the oceans. The tides would become much weaker. Without the moon, coastal ecosystems would be affected. Many marine species depend on the tides to feed, reproduce, and survive. The nights would become much darker, but the most important effect would be something else: the stability of Earth's axis. The moon protects Earth's climate. Earth rotates with a tilt of about 23.5 degrees. That tilt creates the seasons. The moon's gravity helps keep that tilt relatively stable. Without it, Earth's axis could wobble dramatically. Over millions of years, this could trigger extreme climate changes. Tropical regions could freeze. Frozen regions could become intensely hot. The moon acts like a giant gravitational stabilizer. The moon orbits Earth, but at the same time, Earth and the moon orbit the sun together. That means the moon is also orbiting the sun. It does both at the same time. So why isn't it a planet? Because it is gravitationally bound to Earth. Classification doesn't depend only on size. It depends primarily on the dominant object it orbits. Since the moon is part of the Earth-Moon system, it is still classified as a natural satellite. What would happen if the moon escaped? If it gained enough speed, it would stop orbiting Earth. It would orbit only the sun. But it wouldn't automatically become a planet. It would most likely be classified as an independent small world, or possibly a dwarf planet. The moon would still exist. It simply would no longer be our companion. Many scientists believe the moon may have made life possible. The tides may have helped mix chemical compounds in Earth's primitive oceans. In addition, the climate stability provided by the moon may have been essential for the evolution of complex life. Without it, Earth's history might have been completely different. There might never have been forests, dinosaurs, mammals, or human beings. Every night, a gigantic sphere of rock silently crosses the sky. The moon doesn't just light up our nights. It helps keep our planet stable. It controls the tides. It has influenced Earth's climate for billions of years. It was born from an apocalyptic collision, and it is slowly drifting away from Earth, and it may have been one of the reasons life was able to flourish on this planet. The moon may seem ordinary, but it could be one of the most extraordinary objects in the entire universe. And to think that it's only 384,000 kilometers away, watching over Earth for billions of years.